Okay, well, thank you so much for coming back. We have a very exciting plenary that is the first for this three-day summit. It is about the innovative education for out-of-school children and disadvantaged children. So please join me in welcoming to the stage someone who is definitely a person that is knowledgeable about out-of-school children and education from Thailand, and that is Dr. Mechai Viravaidyaค่ะ
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Excellency. I hope to present to you over the next 30 minutes how we can turn an ordinary school to serve also as lifelong learning centers for out-of-school youth, as well as the elderly. And let's not forget people of my age. They need to do a lot in terms of learning. Learning should be lifelong, not just while you're in short pants and skirts. So I've called this as sort of a new dawn in rural Thai education. And the old system, not only in Thailand, but a few other countries too, is not sufficiently preparing our students for the world of tomorrow. And we will see, we concentrate on literacy, numerical skills, and a lot of parroting. And perhaps you can take a look at what the evidence is. The recent one from the World Bank, it says 1/3 of the students, 32%, are functionally illiterate once they've completed compulsory education of 9 years. Are functionally illiterate. It means they can read, but they can't explain. Now, this is just a very simple situation where we need to change. And of course, what about out-of-school youth? This is in school. So how well are we doing? All right? Therefore, I believe we need to change, and we can change in 3 ways. One is that we need to change how we teach and what we teach. And the most important one is we have to change the role of the school from being just a school for children to be a lifelong learning center and a hub for development as well. We have treated schools as a piece of glass, when in reality it's a piece of diamond. And I think we have to recognize that. The school has, in most schools, have land underutilized, buildings underutilized, teachers underutilized, and it opens for about 200 days of the year. We can do so much more by bringing in other people to participate, not only just the ministries of education, but other organizations, including the private sector as well as the non-governmental sector. So we have to change these 3 things. We have to change from being just a school for children into a lifelong learning center for students, their families, and the entire community, as well as out-of-school youth and the elderly. This can be done, and we are doing this, and we hope that it will be of use to some people. All right? The school must also become a hub for improvement in the quality of life. The school can do so much more than just teaching. It's a focal point of all communities, and we have to work it that way. So we have to advance our education from this to this. I know many of you are sitting in front of the telephones here now, making all sorts of use out of it. As we have demonstrated at the Bamboo School in Buriram province, which is about 4 hours from Bangkok. So what we're trying to do is trying to re-engineer rural education to serve not just those in the school, but out of school, as well as the elderly. And you can see this from a map. It's near the Cambodian border, about 4 hours from Bangkok. And what we're trying to do, we're not trying to create smart people who become all sorts of commercial leaders or scientific leaders. We're trying to create good citizens. I think the world needs good citizens, and I know my country needs it, who are honest, who are willing to share, who know how to manage, and they have life skills and occupational skills, and of course, practice and promote gender equality. This is a very important part as part of education. And so what we're trying to do is to instill how to think outside the box. We get them to think outside the box. Otherwise, life is too dull to be just thinking inside the box. And this is what the school looks like in front of the school. Why can't all schools be attractive? These are just water jars painted by students. Why can it not be attractive? It can be, but we just so dull if we take a typical government approach to it. And this is a school operated by a foundation supported by the business sector. And this is what it looks like in front of the school. Everyone who goes by slows down the vehicle and takes a good look. Inside the school, we have trees that are painted and also footpath. Who knows trees don't want to be pretty? Women put lipstick, why not trees? And we only paint girl trees. And this is the pathway inside the school. And now they're also using the thing as a sidewalk dictionary. All the words are going up there. Why not? We're using just books alone, boards. This can also be done. We have curbsides in all the walks. This can be done. We also tie many instructions on pieces of trees. And also, we make the trees much more attractive. And the kids are used to seeing new things, new alternative. In Thailand, at 8 in the morning, you sing the national anthem. We say, no, let's do it in the afternoon. The nation's still there at 4 p.m. Why do we have to rush to love it in the morning? We can do it in the afternoon. And the school is built of bamboo. It's very strong. And this is what it looks like, part of the pathways on cement. And this is the building of a bamboo geodesic dome. Everything is triangular. It's the world's largest bamboo geodesic dome. There are much bigger ones in steel. And now the roof is covered. This is what it looks like on the inside. I'm trying to get this to speed up without taking too much time. And the students come from 20 different provinces in Thailand. And this coming term, we expect to have from our neighboring countries as part of celebration of AIC, from our neighboring countries. And the school is what we call democratic education. Students learn about democracy and help to run the school, not just to come and study. Students help to run the school through student leaders. We call them school captains, like boat captains. And here's just a set. You'll see we have gender superiority rather than equality here. And these are the leaders as elected by the students themselves. They're grade 11 and going on to grade 12. And so examples of what they do all the purchasing of the school, all the purchasing, including vehicles. They go out in the marketplace, find the price, come back. It's a real life skill and occupational skills. They have an audit committee also, and they help with the food service, the kitchen, the student clubhouse, and all visitors are welcomed by students, not by teachers. They do all the explanation, all the PowerPoints, and they all do all the purchasing. So this is going out to purchase all sorts of things that the school need, including a safe ice cream machine, projectors, and they select all incoming students. If you apply in grade 7, not selected by teachers, but by students who are trained how to ask very good questions. The teachers and students have a huge separation between mentality and culture so that the kids are much closer together. They also interview and select teachers and evaluate them. You can use your own shoe, you can buy your own shoes, but you have no say whatsoever over one of the most important things in your life, teachers. The world has to change. We have to get involved, parents and children involved in the selection. And school fees, these are poor kids, are paid by community service. It's not free, but you pay in what you have. That is skill and interest to help other people. And so you have to plant 400 trees, and you have to do 400 hours of community service by the parents as well as by the students. So school fees are also paid by students, but doing it this way. And these are some of the things they do. They go out and help the community. They bring out other people to help plant trees and serve the community. And in the classroom, we try not to sit like this one, where the next thing you have is looking at the back of people's head. We try to put the teacher in the middle of the room, and no one's more than 2 meters away from the teacher walking up and down. We have also a question time where they have to ask questions of the teachers. Most of our kids, they don't know how to ask questions, so they have to learn how to ask questions, and the teachers can answer, and maybe they don't know how to answer. The teachers are human. That's why we have Google. Look it up. And also we have a time where the teachers give you the answer, but you must come up with a question. Let's say they give the answer of 6. A simple question would be, what is 3 plus 3? What is 3 times 2 or 7 minus 1? To let them to think another way. And they all sit in a wheelchair for 1 day every month to learn about the difficulties of people who are living with disabilities, so they know going upstairs, downstairs, going to the toilet, how difficult it is, so they understand and they will do something about it in their lives later on. Also, we want discipline. Thailand is full of people without enough discipline in all areas, from politicians to police, and to students, and in some cases, some teachers. So we allow them to use the telephone for 1 hour per week, and they must write 3 letters. They have to learn how to write 3 letters, 1 to their families, 1 to their friends, and 1 to somebody important, maybe somebody in UNESCO, who knows. And we do not eat 1 meal in the evening of Mondays to learn about hunger. You cannot learn about hunger from a book or from a television program. You must learn from being hungry. And then they say, my goodness, I don't want any other children to be hungry because it feels terrible. So again, this is another way of learning. And the students must all do business. Very simply, if they know how to do business, they might be able to stay at home and earn an income rather than migrating into urban settings. This is very, very important. And we have a loan fund for students. They do all sorts of businesses, the chicken business, food services at break time, goat raising, very good money, and the hotel at the school run by the students also. A very, very reasonable price if you want to come. And agriculture. We start off from the lowest piece of land that nothing can grow on it. I say, why worry about it? Come up above ground, just like out-of-school education. Don't have to go to school. You can have out-of-school education, learn how to earn income, and a much better way of enticing people to learn into literacy by using money. And so here is above ground, using cement rings, in bags, in containers, cooking oil, and here is what it can look like. Why can agriculture not be attractive? It can. Just paint it. And these are the containers. And when the containers in the school, these are all in the school, and we're now outside going into 60 schools per year to do the same thing. And this is what it can look like. You're growing vegetables in a way that people at university haven't thought about. So we're doing it in very, very basic, simple terms. And this is growing a morning glory in a basket. This is what it looks like. The roots come down, you need no earth, you need only very, very little water and some food. And there's the roots going down into the baskets. And this is what it looks like, 1 kilogram per month in each basket. So every child can have a basket in the school, can have 2 baskets, they can have 1 at home also. Otherwise, it's difficult to take agriculture away. And it's very, very attractive. And this it combine what it can look like. Who says we cannot have agriculture like this in schools? You can, and we're doing it. This year will be about 120th, getting funding from the private sector to do it, are doing it in small government schools. They've come and asked to try to turn their school into something similar. So we're doing that. And this is what it looks like. You can grow in baskets. You know, this is on gravel. You can grow in baskets. You can grow it in containers, even including rice. And even on footpaths, it can be attractive as well as producing vegetables. Wherever there's sunlight in the school, you can produce food, vegetables. Use little water, little land, little energy, and good return. And again, this is now going on to, I see water bottles all over the place, and you can turn water bottles into income by cutting holes in it and growing vegetables in it, and very little water, just drip in. The vegetables are on the fence. Each fence will provide about $4 per month, each square meter. So 10 square meters, multiply that by 10, or you can do more. And here's some more vegetables on fences using recycled water bottles. And the students can do all of this, and they like it, they can do it at home, and the parents are much more excited about it. And they say, my goodness, why don't we get more kids to go into literacy? Because if this is what you learn, how you can earn money, let's do it. And so again, this is just what's going on right now. And these are done by kids. And these are the different backgrounds we have in different containers, in baskets, in cement rings, and so on. And this is, again, another view of it. You can also have mushrooms using former used beach umbrellas to grow mushroom. Each one will earn you a net profit of $1,000 per year in any country. And you can also grow mushrooms in another form, out-of-season lime. If you grow it out of season, you earn 10 times more. Why grow it in season? Grow it out of season. And this is what it can look like also in containers. And the lime, this is when it's most expensive in Thailand, probably around the world also, March to May. And here's the students collecting their lime. And here's one that each is 6 baht in the school. So the kids make a lot of money out of this, and they have as part of their savings. And also they're now making hydroponics out of pipes, not just in the soil. And girls and boys do the same thing. They can produce it. And here's one system produced by these 3 girls. And this is what it can look like in the vegetables with hydroponics. All run by students, made by students, operated by the students. And now also with bamboo. So you can use bamboo for hydroponics as well as PVC pipes. And again, we're turning from wheelchair in the classroom into wheelchair agriculture. No university in my country, probably in Asia, concentrating on helping wheelchair people to earn good income from agriculture. And they can do this, and we now have at our school as a training center, even before the university. And so that students are learning how to do everything in agriculture from a wheelchair, and they're writing a handbook on it. Perhaps we can get UNESCO to print it. And wheelchairs. And here's the Deputy Prime Minister visiting the wheelchair. Anyone coming to school must sit in a wheelchair and learn how to do agriculture, so that they begin to realize how little we are doing for people with disabilities, and the students can remind them. And here they are again, just another picture in wheelchair, learning how to do it and writing a handbook on it. And here the students from other schools, they are disabled to come to learn. We have a training area, and then they go back to their schools, and we have funding from the Shell company to help them to establish their farm and learn income and earn income when they go home without having to look for jobs in some urban setting. At the request of small schools, we've been asked to do this outside. So we're doing about 60 per year, again, funded by the business community at government schools, so that they have their own social enterprise in the school to help raise income. And here is an example of stuff going in. We provide the funding, all of this, from the business sector into government schools, and kids are learning, parents are coming in. So you can see that the materials going in, the cement rings, the earth going in, the layout, and the students are concentrating on it before the earth goes in it. And here they're putting in earth into all the containers. Parents are helping. Well, this is a typical government school. Last year we did about 60. This year we're doing about the same. Small schools are funded by several companies, including IKEA, and the bigger ones by Shell. And here they're learning how to do very, very simple stuff in morning glory in baskets. So every student can have a basket in the school. And here's the initial layout. Very simple. You can learn in half an hour. You can produce results in 3 days. And within 1 month, you can have about 1 kilogram. And here the students from our neighboring country, Burma, Myanmar, coming to learn how to do the same thing. And this is in the school right on the border where people of ethnic minorities are learning how to do this. So we have also a loan fund for students and loan fund for parents, because the school must get children out of poverty as well as parents, not just children. And again, this is what it looks like. They paint the rings to make agriculture look attractive, and children like color, as we all do. And this is what it can look like in a typical school right on the border of Thailand and Myanmar. and their parents come to learn, they have a loan fund. So the activities are doing all sorts of things. And here is baskets, growing in baskets, not only in PVC baskets, not only in cement rings. And they have their cultivation and they have their food at the school. And this, again, what a farm at a school can look like. Very colorful, little water, little land, very good income. And this is the northern part of Thailand with their own vegetables. And the students with the savings, we have a program for savings and a loan fund for students to borrow money to do real business. At our school, we have, for every class, about $3,000 for them to borrow. And they go and do their business, learn how to do business, and then the parents do the same thing. They have savings, they can borrow, and then they can do this to earn income. And this is mushrooms, where they earn a net profit of $1,000 per year, chicken raising. And now this is an area where children with disabilities are beginning to do it in their own schools now. Again, using the fence and recycled bottled waters as well. And hydroponics, very, very green. Mushrooms, this girl will earn a net profit of $1,000 per year, and she's very happy. And when she gets home, she can do this at home and earn a very, very good income, which is approximately 20 times higher than the government pension of 600 baht per person per month for those that are elderly and those that are living with disability. So this is much more. And that's the final picture. I didn't want to take too much time. And if you want to come and visit it, we'd be very, very happy. And we're now moving on to near the borders of Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia, so that we can go over the border if they're interested, to help them to use their own schools to become more than just schools, but to become lifelong learning centers and hub for development and focal point. In these schools, elderly people also come to school and do a farm with the grandchildren, with the students. Also, those that are not in school also come and learn how to do agriculture. Then we have a loan fund, and they will be much more interested in moving into literacy with learning and with education if you earn some income. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is all I have.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Dr. Mechai. I have to say also that Dr. Mechai, he is a former politician who is very famous in Thailand for bringing awareness of AIDS as well here in the country. So we're very privileged to have him here today.